So in this video I wanted to cover using database objects with mobile devices, and in particular I'm going to use iOS. So database objects can be used with Android, with iOS, with Windows, with OS X, and for the non-Windows environments it's basically using Mono. There's all the features that you get in the desktop are in the mobile version, so there's no limited functionality or anything like that. And yeah, as I said, it's leveraging Mono. So in iOS it's using Mono Touch. For Android projects it's using Mono Droid. So you can basically, for those that don't know, it's basically Mono gives you the ability to run your .NET code on non-Windows environments. Actually, probably worth mentioning also that I'm using database objects for a couple of apps that I've got on the App Store, so it's in production, it does work. And it's using SQLite database, so that's pretty much the only option you've got for a mobile device anyway. Okay, so this project, so I've created a basic project here. This is just an iOS project, pretty run-of-the-mill here, and I've created a library project. And so what I'm going to do is reference all the code that I've been creating in the other demonstration projects. So all I need to do is just add in those projects. Add in those files. And obviously we need to add in database objects as well. So we've got, let's go up here to the code. So this is the desktop one, this is the Android one, and this is the iOS one. And we need to reference the iOS project. Let's see if that builds. Great, so that builds, no changes there at all. The model is exactly the same. And the other thing here is, yeah, we can obviously need to reference the project, the model. So let's reference, I think we need database objects, we need the we need system.data as well, which I've already got there. Okay, so, oh yeah, we also need SQLite. This is the code to load the model, and I'm just creating a SQLite connection and going to use this Northwind DB3. I've actually ported the SQL Server Northwind database to SQLite here using a tool. So I've got that. That's going to be basically embedded in the application, and I'm creating the Northwind model. So aside from that, just instantiating a different database, that is the only difference between the desktop and the mobile version. Database gets passed into the model, and the model is exactly the same. So just to prove it out, I'm going to load a product up here from the database and display it on screen. So I've actually created this product table, which is UI table view, and it's just displaying the information. It's nothing. This is not really relevant, except to say that I'm actually using Mono dialog here, which is a nice wrapper around creating UI table view controllers and stuff like that. So, and actually I've got a fork of that on GitHub with some useful fixes on there, I think. Anyway, so this is just going to display the product. So we're loading a product here, and we're going to display that product on screen. So if we run that. Cool, so we're getting the product. So let's have a look in the database just to verify that it's actually working. Okay, so if we have a look at the products table, Boston crab meat, there we go, so $18.40, that's right. Yeah, so that's essentially it. So the key thing here is that basically you can reuse your code. There's no need to make any changes if you want to run it on a mobile device, which I think is really cool. So I think this is one of the most powerful features of database objects, is that you can reuse that code without any changes, so you can potentially share the code base between a server and a mobile app. So yeah, that's pretty much it.